That's ahead, but first time for tonight's number 2 story, Countdown's worst persons in the world. Number 3, Karni of page 6 of the New York Post. They have not attacked us lately. Unfortunately, she has left a paper trail a mile wide about the next one. It will be Sunday, and it will trash me and Rachel and apparently Luke Russert and be about, quote, the current crisis at NBC News, unquote. There isn't a crisis at NBC News. The Today Show is in first place by 14%. Nightly News is in first place. MSNBC jumped from the 21st most watched network in all of cable in prime time to the 10th most watched in 1 month. And Countdown's video podcast is 8th on iTunes. The audio version is 15th. Billo is 21st. That there is no crisis at NBC News means only this to Karni and the New York Post. They have to make one up. A runner-up, Ed Snyder, the owner of hockey's Philadelphia Flyers. He has invited the self-professed hockey mom, Governor Palin, to drop the ceremonial first puck at Saturday's Flyers game against the New York Rangers. Mr. Snyder does not mention that he's not only a maxed-out GOP donor, but also a backer of the infamous Freedom's Watch, one of the outside hit squads working against things like the Democrats and getting our troops home from Iraq. He also does not mention that the arena he is turning over to the Republican ticket for a photo op was paid in part, a reported $20 million part, by taxpayers of the city of Philadelphia and the state of Pennsylvania, and it probably should be a campaigning-free zone. But our winner, President Bush, not to say we told you so on this, because you knew it as soon as I did, or sooner. The president repeatedly assured us he was not spying on Americans when he was unconstitutionally spying on Americans' international phone calls, and that certainly nothing that wasn't terror-related was not being eavesdropped upon. ABC News reporting that the NSA, the National Security Agency, hundreds of U.S. citizens overseas have been eavesdropped on as they called friends and family back home. In fact, 2 of the intercept operators who worked at the NSA Center at Fort Gordon in Georgia say they not only listened into civilian conversations or contacts among members of organizations like the International Red Cross, but that they also shared salacious or tantalizing calls they had spied upon. David Murphy Falk said he would be told by colleagues, hey, check this out, there's good phone blank, or there's some pillow talk. It would be some colonel making pillow talk. So, President Bush, you were eavesdropping on Americans after all, including our own military. Support the troops. President George W. Bush, today's worst person in the world.